And to make matters worse, at home. So they've been looking forward to this one. It's the only loss on their schedule. They're 19-1 coming into the night.
And the Canaries come in with a record of 19-2. Losses to Liberty and Freedom along the way. You look at the polls, Mike, and there's kind of a contradiction. The local polls have Whitehall ahead of Allen, but then you look at the state polls and it's Allen on top.
Well, I think what that speaks for is that both are quality teams. You're looking at two of the best teams in the state of Pennsylvania. They're both ranked in the top 10. I don't care if you put 1-5 or 1-8. The thing is that they're two of the best, and we're going to see them here tonight.
All right, perhaps two all-state candidates going head-to-head. Pete Lasicki for Whitehall against Wayne Thomas for Allen. We'll be back with the opening tip right after this.
Car buyers, beware the hooks that get car buyers cooked. Have you seen the ad some dealers run with a low price? That's the hook. Then comes the disclaimer at the bottom of the TV screen in type so small nobody has any idea what it says. That's the part that gets you cooked. Here at Lehigh Valley Ford, Honda, Hyundai, Suzuki, this is our only disclaimer. Simply add tax and tags. Price includes any rebates. That's it. So if you don't want to get hooked or cooked, come to Lehigh Valley Ford, Honda, Hyundai, Suzuki.
Wall to wall.
NCAA basketball is in your face on ESPN. ESPN is NCAA basketball with season-long thrills from all the top teams right through championship week.
ESPN. Wall to wall.
See, turn on Service Electric Cable TV. We were the first to lead the way. The pioneering spirit is still with us today. Channel after channel, we bring you more of what you want to see is on Service Electric Cable TV.
We're back at Seward's Gymnasium. Final minutes of warm-up time. The Allen Canaries wearing their home court yellow tonight, coming in with a record of 19 wins, 2 losses, 15-2 in the East Penn Conference. Second place already all locked up. The Whitehall, well, pretty much locked up. The Whitehall Zephyrs coming in with a record of 19 wins, 1 loss. They are 16-1 in the conference and hold that lead spot, Mike, as they have done all season long, just about.
Yeah, they have, except for when Allen beat them, and then they were in a virtual tie. So, Whitehall has at least shared or had that top spot by themselves. And it really doesn't matter. There's no District 11 championship tonight. There's no conference championship. There isn't even a seeding problem. These teams are going to be 1-2-1 or 2-1, no matter how it is, which means you're going to get a bye opening night. The thing that's on the line tonight is pride. You lose by 18 points to Allen. You look at Chris Mason, who missed that first meeting with Whitehall, will be in the starting lineup tonight. Whitehall's playing for pride and Allen's playing for pride. They want to both build some momentum going into the tournament.
Taking a look back at that first meeting between these two teams, you might remember that they started the pregame ceremonies with awarding Pete Lasicki of Whitehall with the slam dunk to the beach MVP. There he is, practicing his jumper. And it may have thrown him off because he didn't have a great first half, came back strong in the second half. Meantime, Allen was shooting 64% from the field, and there was no catching him.
Well, if you look back at that first game, the thing that really did it, they opened it up in the middle first. Thomas got off hot, and he opened things up. Then when Whitehall dropped back a little bit, that opened up the perimeter. If that same kind of shooting happens tonight, Whitehall could be in for trouble again. Allen is a tough team to defense. They have good inside, they have good outside players, and that makes it tough defensively.
Along with that 64% shooting, the Canaries drained 10 threes. They led 20-9 after one quarter, and as Mike mentioned, went on to win 70-52.
Yeah, Sean Penn led that onslaught with 5 three-pointers. Dwayne Adams backed him up with 3, and then there were a couple of guys. Wimberly had 1. I think Broski might have not. Broski didn't have any, but a couple guys had 1 each. So it was really an onslaught from the outside. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
As is the usual fare for a Ron Hassler coach team, the Whitehall Zephyrs will not come out to answer the individual introductions. We will tell you, however, they have 10 straight wins, and they have beaten everybody by 12 points or more within the last month, except for Liberty and the Hurricane losing only by 7. They're number 8 in the Harrisburg Patriot News 4A poll, number 2 in the Morning Call High School Hoops poll, just behind Salisbury, just ahead of Allen.
That was Ron Hassler you were looking at in his 10th season at the helm of the Zephs. Dan, you mentioned Liberty. Liberty and Becca played this afternoon with Liberty winning, so the tournament is starting to take shape. Liberty now qualifies as the number 5 team, and if Freedom wins tonight, they will take the 6th spot. So next week's action will just be 6 teams preparing to play for the tournament.
And now it appears that the senior cheerleaders for the Allen Canaries are being presented with a nice small bouquet of flowers.
All right, that'll give us some time to look at the standings, guys, and girls in the truck. If we can flash that thing up there, we'll look first of all at the schedule tonight. Freedom at Emmaus. Freedom can wrap up a spot. Easton at Central, Parkland at Northampton. Becca played at Liberty today with Liberty winning, and Peaburg is at Duroff tonight. So the tournament is okay. We're going to take a look at the current standings right now. Whitehall, Allen, you see that speaks for itself. No matter what happens, they have a wide margin between 3 and 4. Central and Parkland tied at 11 and 6. Freedom at 9 and 8. Liberty at 10 and 8 with that win this afternoon has qualified. Easton, Northampton, Phillipsburg with an outside shot. If Freedom loses their last 3, they would have to, one of those 2 teams or 3 teams would have to win their last 3, including tonight. Duroff at 5 and 12, Emmaus at 5 and 12, and Becca at 3 and 15. You know, we'll be playing out the string next year next week with Tuesday and Thursday games.
Oh, Mike, the insiders are saying look for the top 6 there on your screen to remain the top 6 going into the East Penn Conference tournament with a big division between the top 6 and the bottom 6.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. Freedom needs to win one of their remaining 3 games to qualify for the tournament. Liberty's in, so that's what it looks like. Now, if you're looking for the breakdown and how it'll go, 1 and 2 will get a bye, 3 will play 6, and 4 will play 5. So they'll just be jockeying for position as far as next week will go.
Taking a look at the Whitehall Zephyrs starting lineup. There you have them. Keith Genicola, a senior, 1 of 4 on the starting lineup. Matt Zope joining him at the guard position. Pete Lasicki, the hot shooting forward at 6'4", a possible all-state candidate as a junior. Chad Kusko and Mark Leschko, the big guy, rounding out the starters.
Well, Pistol Pete leads the league in scoring, had 27 the first time against Allen, but he really worked for him. He had a lot of shots, and he was always hounded defensively.
George Brodsky coming out as a surprise starter for the Allen Canaries. These are the reserves, okay.
No, they're introducing seniors.
Gotcha.
They're introducing seniors. Allen is on the road for both their games next week, so this is their last home game. So they're introducing their seniors.
Nate Hobgood-Chittick coming out to join Brodsky. I believe that's Jerry Shire also out there. Asanda Jesus, Lafayette bound, point guard for the Allen Canaries. We'll be seeing some of him tonight, even though he's not among the starters this evening.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of these guys. There's Pat Halloran.
Pat Halloran.
You know, these guys play well. These are the starters now.
Dwayne Adams, a senior, plays guard or forward, 6'2". He'll be at point guard this evening. Joining him, Kevin Wimberly, number 22. Number 30, Chris Mason. Sean Penn, perhaps the most proficient at blocking shots in the East Penn Conference. And one of the top scorers, Wayne Thomas, rounding out the starting lineup for the Canaries.
Well, you mentioned Sean Penn. As you look at their lineup and you see their height, Penn, because of his height, will guard and start out on Pete Lisicki tonight. That's the same way they started in the first game up at Whitehall, which was real successful. Penn, Wimberly, Halloran all took turns in guarding Lisicki, and they really made him work. But Penn will start out in that man-for-man. He'll start out on Lisicki, and then Coach Don Moyer will see how things go. Don Moyer in his 19th season.
And the other mastermind on the other side of the scorers table, Ron Hassler, in year number 10, the winner of 4 consecutive District 11 titles.
Our officials for tonight will be Ted McCaucus and Ron Singer. 2 good ones. The JV final, Allen 47, Whitehall 41.
At the center circle, Wayne Thomas in yellow going up against Lesko. Mark Lesko is 6'6" senior. And Thomas gets this one to Penn. We are underway at Seward's Gym in the rematch. A lot of pride on the line here tonight.
Zephyrs open up in their matchup zone, which was really picked apart. And I think that's the thing that hurt Coach Hassler and his team the most. They take a lot of pride in playing defense. They know it wins championships, and they just got hammered. And all those 70 points did come from the floor. Allen did not have any free throws in that game, so they scored them on 26 field goals, with 10 of them being three-pointers, or 30 field goals, with 10 of them being three-pointers, as Dan had mentioned.
Now Allen playing their second consecutive home game. There's Wayne Thomas off the glass, no good. And the ball ripped down by Matt Zook, the do-everything all-arounder.
And Allen opens up with full court press, man for man. They feel they have the athleticism to do that with anybody, and quite frankly, I don't disagree.
Mason knocks it out of bounds. Cusco trying to get it down the sideline. Whitehall maintains possession. Here's Pete Lisicki wearing number 33.
And matched up against Sean Penn, number 50. Adams guards Jenicola. Mason has Cusco. Wimberly is on Zook, and inside Thomas guards Lesko.
Jenicola with some trouble. Finally gets it out to Lesko. Zook gets it out. Number 35, Cusco.
That's the difference with this Allen team this year. They've always had some good athletes, but this team seems to enjoy playing defense more than teams past. Whitehall has not shown a move towards the basket yet, but Allen really has that zone, that man extended.
They had Lesko open underneath momentarily. Wayne Thomas doing a nice job to hustle back, knocks it out of bounds. Whitehall will hold on to it. And you're right, Mike, looking at Allen, that defense turns things around and makes so many opportunities happen for the offense.
Well, you know, and the thing that's right, and the thing that they have to understand is defense wins championships no matter what sport it is, you know, and that's what makes this Allen team quite a bit better than they've been maybe the last couple of years.
Here's the shot by Lisicki for 3, no good. And Wayne Thomas, looking to start the drive, holds on to it. Chris Mason brings it up court. This is Dwayne Adams. And the shot, no good by Adams.
Oh, and what a much better start defensively for Whitehall. They just got torn apart in that matchup. I talked with Ron Hassler before the game. He said, we never got started properly in it. We've made some adjustments. We looked at the films. We feel we can still match with them.
Lisicki gets things going as he breaks the ice. 5:38 to go here in the first quarter.
Well, tempo are real key. As long as it stays a half-court game, it favors Whitehall. You know, Allen would much rather prefer to force some turnovers and get breaking and get the tempo up a little bit.
And Adams answers the call.
Adams had a big night first time with 17 points, including 3 threes, and he gives the Allen the early lead at 3-2.
Canaries playing just as good defense as we've seen Whitehall play so far. Here's Lisicki for the 3. Yes.
A favorite play of the Zepps. They like to run Lisicky off the screen, pump him up past that free throw line. He had all kind of time to line that one up.
Thomas, they go inside. The shot by Mason, no good. Thomas can't pull it down. Lesko is there. And Lesko is fouled by Kevin Wimberly. And look at these Whitehall fans in unison, pointing the finger at him.
Hard to believe there's no banners or trophies to be won here tonight. You know, sellout crowd, overflow crowd. You see Wimberly going to reach in. Didn't think like he committed any foul or contact there, but he gets called for it. Our first foul of the night, first one on Wimberly.
Jenicola gets it to Lisicky. The Zephyrs up by 2. Anytime Whitehall has any size lead, it's dangerous for the opposing team.
And that's the key, Dan. You know, when they get when they fall behind early, you know, you're in good shape. But when they get a lead on you early, you're in some trouble.
Soak faking the 3, opened up something for Lesko, but the ball was unable to be handled. Now they go out to Jenicola. Here's Kusko. Double stacks, and now Lisicky with the NBA 3.
See, what Allen has to do is they have to turn up the defensive pressure. They're allowing Whitehall to move and pass the ball around. They have to stop that. Whitehall is now controlling the tempo of the game.
Well, fans who turn down their set's brightness and just listen to this game, they think it's a boxing match, and that's kind of the way it's been going so far.
Yeah, John Donmoyer, you see he's shouting into instructions.
Foul was on Matt Zook, his first, team's first. Allen gets the ball from under their own basket.
You see how quickly Kusko out to the corner to get on Penn. Look at there, he's going to come up with a steal or a tied ball and a turnover. You see how quickly they're paying attention to Penn tonight.
Kusko tying Penn up to get the turnover by virtue of the possession arrow. And Penn will give Lisicky a little bit of breathing room here.
You know, one of the things that I think helps Whitehall on this floor, this is a bigger floor than their home floor. I think Whitehall does better on a bigger floor because they can spread things out and it makes it harder to double defensively.
Matt Zook, 11-3 Whitehall, and John Donmoyer says timeout. And a wise decision by the KG coach.
Well, you see what he's got to do is he's got to start trying to up-tempo this thing. Whitehall, and again, and I was talking about the bigger floor, that allows them to spread things out, which means that they can go one-on-one. They're all good ball handlers. They don't turn the ball over, and it makes it difficult if Whitehall keeps their spacing for Allen to double team and to force any turnovers. I think John Donmoyer through this timeout might go to some kind of trap where he can try and force some turnovers and get his team where they can run. But Whitehall to this point is thoroughly dominated as far as the tempo of the game.
An 8-point lead for the Zephyrs, and you may recall it was Allen leading by 11 last time these two teams met. And Mike, in comparison to the style of play, an 8-point lead for Whitehall is just about equal to an 11-point lead for Allen.
Yeah, you're right. You know, it's difficult to come back on a Whitehall team. I mean, we're very early in this game, and there's going to be a lot of peaks and valleys. But, you know, you don't want to fall behind. You know, the fans are into it now. You see the Whitehall people here, they're into it. You know, and the team's been feeling it. The team's wanted this for a long, long time. Allen is going to have to respond here. They need a good offensive set.
The three-pointers have been flying for the Whitehall Zephyrs. Chris Mason puts it in play. Here's Dwayne Adams. And Whitehall goes full court pressure, man to man. Wayne Thomas, a scoop is blocked. Matt Zook skying to pull that one down out of the rafters, but a foul is called.
There was a good follow. I believe it was Dwayne Adams who comes up on excellent hustle down the floor. Thomas was going on a finger roll. Zook, an incredible defensive effort, but Adams good hustle to come up with the rebound.
Lisicky pegged with the foul, his first, and that'll send Dwayne Adams to the line.
Well, this guy has really been a great addition to this Canary team. Brings poise, brings experience, brings an outside shot. and one of the top free throw shooters on the team at 70%.
11-6. Whitehall still in command. Kusko working against Mason, gets it out to Lisicki. Lisicki trying to shake Wimberly. Wimberly is the bird dog. He goes after the hottest scorer. Now Allen turning things around with the hot defense. And Thomas with the tip in. Off the Chris Mason miss.
Well, and better defensive pressure. Whitehall went to the stack offense, but an overplay and a missed pass inside led to a turnover, and how quickly Allen takes advantage.
And another turnover. Penn gets it swiped by Zote. Is there anything Zote can't do? Here's Lesko losing the dribble, and Allen will get it back.
Well, that pace certainly does not favor Whitehall. Excellent hustle by Matt Zote to save a breakaway, too, for Penn.
Since the timeout, Allen able to come back to score 2 points, and now they have a chance to put some more on the board. They trail by 3, 11-8.
Look at the attention that Penn is getting at that three-point arc.
Thomas, the fadeaway is good.
That's what can make the defense real difficult. Whitehall would like to be able to slough off and help there, but Thomas really has, there's a premier center in the league, and he really ate him up in the first meeting. That's a nice little turnaround jumper.
And still Whitehall having some problems since that timeout. Lesko, no good.
There's a situation.
Here's Penn for 3. He's got it. And now, I heard a whistle, but no timeout has been called.
Yeah, the net got stuck, and they just wanted him to get it down. But see what's happening, Dan, is the press didn't force a turnover last time, but it forced Whitehall into a quick shot, and it keeps the pace of the game up-tempo.
An 11-point run for Allen. And the Canaries now lead 13-11.
And Wimberly now is on Lisicki. Penn has switched over to Zote, and the rest of the matchups remain the same. That strategy worked real well in the first game with Whitehall. For Allen, they ran a couple of people at Pete.
Final minute now underway.
And Whitehall will probably wait and take the last shot of the quarter.
Lisicki.
Of course, I could be
nice
wrong.
Inside the Lesko. Look at that move.
Excellent patience.
Mark Lesko doing the job at the baseline to get around Penn for 2.
Good court awareness by Lesko. Real good poise underneath the basket. Didn't force it. Put it on the floor. Went to the weak side where there was nobody.
Wimberly, baseline jumper. No. And Lisicki pulls down the rebound. 12 seconds in the first quarter. Zote leans, fires off the glass, and it's no good, and we are tied after 8 minutes of play. 13-all. Back for the second quarter action right after this.
On the gridirons, the diamonds for working out or lounging around. Suit up with the best. Russell Athletic. Available at the newly expanded Bethlehem Sporting Goods. Bethlehem Sporting Goods, a Russell Athletic team specialist, carries a large selection of Russell Athletic uniforms, tees, shorts, and sweats. And Bethlehem Sporting Goods offers custom lettering, screening, and embroidering of group and team Russell Athletic wear. Stop in today for Russell Athletic wear and all your sporting needs at Bethlehem Sporting Goods, the team sport and trophy specialist.
When you can't breathe, it doesn't matter who you are, or where you were born, or who you know, or how much money you make. When you can't breathe, the only thing that matters is your next breath. the American Lung Association fights lung disease, such as tuberculosis, emphysema, lung cancer, and asthma. Please help before it's too late, because when you can't breathe, nothing else matters.
Are you ready for WWF action that's really raw? The WWF is bigger, badder, and better than ever on USA. I'm Vince McMahon. Join me for WWF Wrestling Monday Night Raw, only on USA.
See, turn on Service Electric Cable TV. We were the first to lead the way. The pioneering spirit is still with us today. Channel after channel, we bring you more of what you want to see is on Service Electric Cable TV.
Wayne Thomas helping a spark that drew into a flame. The Canaries scoring 10 points in a row after being down by 8, which is a dangerous amount of points to be down to a Whitehall team. And now we're tied at 13 heading into the second quarter, Mike.
That was one of 2 of Thomas's 2 field goals in that first quarter. Shooting percentages, the Canaries were 5 of 11, 45.5%. 1 of 1 from the line for 13. Whitehall 5 of 8 from the floor, including 3 threes. Allen had 2 threes. Whitehall was 63.5% from the floor for their 13 points.
Kevin Wimberly with the ball, gets it to Chris Mason.
Turnovers, Whitehall committed 3. 1 of them led to 2 points for Allen. Allen committed 2.
Mason double try, and it's good this time. He'll go to the line. The foul on Lisicki.
Too many shots inside Lisicki, and that's going to be number 2 on Pete. You see Mason, number 1, a great athlete. Ron Hassler did not like the call. I saw him motion to the official when he went over. That wasn't a foul. And on that shot there, looked like there was a lot of ball, maybe some body contact that we were unaware of.
Mason completes the 3-point play, and that's the lead that Allen now has, 16-13. Lisicki loses it out of bounds. Tough pass to haul in.
Yeah, it really was, but a good overplay by Kevin Wimberly. Good anticipation. That's what makes this Allen team so tough. They got guys, if they want to and put their mind to it, they can play defense this year. Past Allen teams didn't seem to be willing to sacrifice to do what it takes to play defense. This team seems to want to do that.
And the other remarkable thing about this Canary team, which we haven't seen any of yet, is the bench strength.
Well, with the pace of this game, Coach Don Moyer really doesn't have to go to it. You know, this might be his best lineup. I know certain guys can come in and give you a boost. Broski, Hobgood, Shiddick, Holleran can do things. DeJesus can come in and do his thing, but this might be his best lineup on the floor.
Adams. The Canaries working the ball very patiently. Out to Wimberly. The free shot by Wimberly is off. And Whitehall does a nice job of pulling down the rebound safely without losing it out of bounds.
Excellent reaction by Giannicola. That was going to be off his Zephyr, and Giannicola saved it. You know, Giannicola, one of those players, not flashy, you know, doesn't score a lot of points, but does a lot of good things to help you win basketball games.
Loose ball down on the floor. Lisicki doing battle with Wimberly, and Lisicki wins the battle. Wimberly pegged with the foul.
Now you see the quickness of this Canary team. Lisicki's just going to, you know, it's just knocked away by Wimberly. Now you see, look at 3 yellow jerseys converge. Zephs catch a good break there. Did you have a foul called? The Canaries didn't think, but there was certainly some knocking going on in there. Number 2 on Wimberly.
And number 2 for Allen. Lisicki looking for some room. Lets it sky for a while. Wayne Thomas gets called for the foul. That'll send Lisicki to the line for 2.
Well, that was a good read by Thomas that time, coming from his center position. Thomas might be the center for the Canaries, but he actually gives up some inches to Lisicki. You see, Pete's not going to, that shot's not going to be blocked. The only guy capable of getting that shot might be Sean Penn. Thomas, even though he's a center, can't get up there, and as a result, Lisicki draws the foul.
Lisicki exhibiting his great leaping ability. He had some maximum hang time there to draw that foul. And the Zephyrs, the hottest foul shooting team in the area. Lisicki connecting on his first.
As you might expect, that's the Zep's first free throw of the night. They scored 16 from the line last time. As you might expect, Lisicki outstanding from the line, 81%, averaging 20 a game and leading the East Penn Conference.
That brings the Zephyrs to within one, 16-15. Allen still ahead as they've been since the end of the first quarter.
Well, it's amazing. We're about 3 minutes now, I'll say a little over 2 minutes into the second quarter. In the first game, Allen already had 20 points. We're this far into the second quarter. The Canaries only have 16. So Whitehall getting accomplished what they want here tonight.
Sean Penn. And the ball hits the top of the backboard. It will go to Whitehall.
Whitehall a much better job of getting some pressure on the wings tonight. Coach Hassler told me before the game they just never got matched up properly. They were never able to get pressure, and as a result, those jumpers were open at Whitehall. You can see they're being contested here tonight.
Matt Zook working against Penn. Cusco. Zook. No substitutions so far for either team tonight.
We're going to see our first one. DeJesus has just gotten up off the Allen bench.
Look at Zook trying to follow up Lisicki's miss, but he can't do it. Here comes Adams. 3-on-2. Keeps it. Gives it up a little too late, and he's called for the charge.
Boy, and Allen had the numbers. Allen had the numbers. You don't see Adams make that kind of mistake. Cusco, I believe it was, Genicola, number 25. Nice job. No, it was Cusco who got back in the way there to draw that charge. And there is DeJesus into the game, and he will replace Mason. First substitution of the night, as Dan mentioned.
Any coach will tell you how underrated the bounce pass is in high school basketball. Perhaps it could have been used there. Here comes Lisicki now for Whitehall. Cusco is fouled as he tried to feed Lesko. Cusco doing a nice job of making things happen, drawing the fire and setting Lesko free. Whitehall will take the possession from underneath the basket.
And that one goes on Thomas. That's number 2 on Gooch. Number 52, league's second leading scorer.
15 foul for the Canaries.
Good possibility before he graduates from this school, he could become the school's all-time leading scorer, too.
And there's Thomas knocking it away, but Zook gets it back. Now Adams has it. And Adams will drive. Oh, the forever ball won't drop.
Shot as soft as it could possibly go or be. Just did not fall in for Adams. The Canaries force a turnover but can't convert.
Shot by Lisicki. Yeah, there's the bounce.
That's quite a touch.
Gets it to go over Wimberly. And Whitehall's up by 1.
You know, when you get a basketball to hit the rim 3 times on a bounce and have it go, you know you have a good touch, and that did that.
DeJesus, one rolling off his shin, and he comes right back to pick it up. 3-on-4. And DeJesus wisely backs up to increase the yellow numbers.
You know, the one thing that happens when Whitehall controls the pace, other teams tend to get, I don't want to say bored, but, they lose interest a little bit. And certainly a pass, a near turnover like that against Allen certainly would lead you to believe that. Canaries love the run. They love the up-tempo, and this slow pace drives them crazy.
Well, Mike, as you know, as a former player, not too many guys go out for the team to play defense.
That's right.
Here's DeJesus. Look at that roll.
Well, talk about a shooter's touch. That one bounced off the rim 4 or 5 times. DeJesus into the game and converts on his first try.
Cusco getting some heat from DeJesus. He keeps on trying to swat it away. Cusco protecting the ball nicely. Genicola to Zook for 3. No. Wimberly with the rebound, and here comes DeJesus. Allen by 1, 18-17, 3:07 remaining in the first half. Sean Penn. And Thomas traveling. Little Texas two-step on the baseline, and Whitehall will take possession.
Yeah, Zephyrs are getting better defensive pressure tonight. You know, we didn't work that first meeting. I was there, but you know, they're, you know, all right. Now you're going to see here. Yeah, no question.
Right there.
He established his right foot as his pivot, and then he clearly moved that one. So that was a good call by the officials.
Cusco.
Good camera work, guys. Right down there on top of it. Gary Snyder.
And Lisicki will try for three. It's no good.
Baba
Here's Adams.
Booey. Baba Booey out of retirement.
De Jesus asking for some motion.
.222 to go, second quarter. Canaries by 1, 18-17.
Thomas with the sweet turnaround. Penn can't tap it in. Thomas again. The baby hook won't go, and Penn is there to finish it off.
Well, it's good persistence on the board, but one thing for sure, that shooting percentage is not going to be 64% tonight the way it was in the first game. De Jesus a near steal.
Sacrificing the body along the way, and De Jesus almost talks trash as well as he plays basketball, and he's working on Cusco right now.
Well, they're two football players going head-to-head there, and two fine athletes.
Here's Zoke.
Both scholar athletes, too.
Oh, a forced pass into Leshko, picked off by Thomas. Thomas, who can palm the ball, gets it over to De Jesus. Here's Adams. Aside De Jesus in the paint. Yeah.
Boy, De Jesus coming off the bench has played a heck of a second quarter.
I must say, you know, the times we've seen De Jesus talk trash, he's been able to back it up.
Key possession for Whitehall, down 5 now.
Lisicki, the leaner, the fadeaway, no good. And Adams can't control it. So 3-on-1, takes it himself, and a foul is called underneath.
Wait, John Don Moyer irate on the sidelines, wanted a foul prior to that steal.
Foul is against Chuck Penn, or Sean Penn. Let's take a look.
There you see he gave him a slap on the top of the head. Excellent recovery by Zoke.
Zoke at the line to shoot 2.
Matt averaging 9 a game now. He had 11 first meeting, including a three-pointer, 69% from the line. Zeph as a team shoot free throws well, 68%.
22-18 in favor of the Canaries. Zoke, a rare missed opportunity at the free throw line for a Zephyr. Thomas gets tied up in the corner, and this one will go against Genicola.
Not yet in the bonus. Whitehall, now they have committed 14 fouls. Allen has committed 6.
The man I just mentioned, slip of the tongue, Chuck Penn, joining us in the audience, the father of Sean Penn, and the father of Chuck Penn over at Lehigh, the fine senior, averaging somewhere in the 20s in his point scoring. Here's a three-point attempt by Adams. Out of bounds it goes. Whitehall will take over, trailing by 4 with 50 seconds to go in the first half.
And not without some resistance. Wimberly almost able to control that one, but knocks it out of bounds. Allen's done a good job on the offensive boards tonight, creating some extra opportunities.
Lisicki to Zoke. And a long 3 is in. I think that's Lisicki's range. He does better from out there than he does at the arc.
Ask Stan Suffin. Last year in the District 11 championship game, Pete hit one from
You remember
long
that
range
one.
to win the game. And Stan Suffin flat out admitted to me, he said, man, I didn't think he'd take the shot from that far out. You know, but Pete's got some range. He's got great strength and a great touch. There's a big 3. The Zephs within 1.
And if you're just joining us, Whitehall led by 8. Thomas is not going to miss that shot. Time runs out on the Zephyrs, and at the half, it's Allen coming back strong, leading 24-21. We'll be back with more right after this.
C.J. Wagner, trophies, plaques, and bowling supply.
Register me in 50 states.
I don't want to tell you what I really think. I'd support my daughter.
I know this voice. Who is this?
Cher. Hello, Larry. Mike Wallace.
Do you ever not know where you are? When was the last time you drove? Oh, boy. Time out.
I'm having fun now.
Oh, my God. Totally spontaneous.
Well, looked like Larry King won this round.
Totally King. Larry King Live. Weeknights on CNN.
See all you want to see. Turn on Service Electric Cable TV. We were the first to lead the way. The pioneering spirit is still with us today. Channel after channel, we bring you more. More of what you want to see is on Service Electric Cable TV.
Welcome back to Seward's Gymnasium. At the half, it's Allen 24, Whitehall 21. A rock and roll kind of first half, Mike. We saw Whitehall jump out to an 11-3 lead. Allen called timeout. John Donmoyer inserted a great game plan because the Canaries scored the next 10 points in a row. They had a 21-10 run to finish out the first half and take that 3-point lead.
Yeah, they really did. They responded real well. Whitehall came out real strong. And then the Canaries responded to hold that 3-point halftime lead. For you stat nuts or people want to compare, in the first meeting, Allen held a 34-23 halftime lead up at Whitehall. So the Zephyrs defensively really accomplished what they wanted. You know, they've got the score down to more where they can control it. They did a pretty good job of controlling the pace. Did not get hurt by turnovers. Allen committed or forced 7 turnovers against Whitehall, but only cashed in on one of those, so that they really did pretty well there. We're going to take a look at a guy who really came off the bench in that second quarter and really, got things going. Number 42, Hassan DeJesus. That's an off and on starter for the Canaries, able to spot a little seam in there, able to penetrate. And a nice little running one-hander that lands softly on the rim. Looking at the team stats, field goals, the Zephyrs 7 of 13, 53.8%. Allen 10 of 23, 43.5%, way off from that 64% they shot up at Whitehall. From the line, Zephyrs 3 of 4 for 75%. The Canaries perfect on 2 opportunities. Leading scorers, Pete Lisicki with 15. Wayne Thomas and Dwayne Adams with 6 apiece for the Canaries. We'll set the rest of the scoring in the first half. First of all, for Allen, Adams was 2 of 6 from the floor, including a 3, 1 of 1 from the line for his 6. Wimberly did not score, only attempted 1 shot. Mason, 3 points on a field goal, 1 of 1 from the line. Penn, 5 points on 2 field goals, 1 of 3. Thomas, 6 points on 3 field goals. Hassan DeJesus came in perfect, 2 for 2 for 4 points. The line score then for Allen, they were 10 of 23, including 2 threes, 2 of 2 from the line for 24 points. For Whitehall, they were again led by Lysicki's 15. He was 5 of 8 from the floor, including 3 threes, 2 of 2 from the line. Zoke chipped in with 4 on 1 of 3 field goals. It was a 3-pointer he converted from the free throw line. Leshko chipped in with 2 points. Kusko was scoreless, did not attempt a shot, and the same for Janicola. The line score then for the Zephyrs, 7 of 13, 4 3-pointers, 3 of 4 from the line for their total of 21 points.
So the hot shooting Pete Lysicki keeping Whitehall in this game. He has 15 of Whitehall's 21 points in the first half. He averages 20 a game, leading the East Penn Conference in that scoring department, which is quite a feat considering the slow-down pace that Whitehall sometimes utilizes to beat its teams.
Yeah, and the score indicative of how close it was. We had 5 lead changes the first half. Allen went up 3-2. Whitehall came back, went up 5-3. Then Allen went up 13-11. In the second quarter, the Zephyrs took a 17-16 lead, and then Allen went out in front 18-17 and hung on to a 3-point halftime lead, which now has been cut to 1.
Pistol Pete Lysicki providing the flesh wound there to start the second half off. A design play orchestrated by Ron Hassler, no doubt. That whittles the lead to 1. Allen still in control, 24-23.
It's been an iron 5 for Whitehall. They start again here in the second half as Adams drains a 3.
And the long one at that.
Janicola, Kusko with the ball. Zoke 31, Lysicki 33, and Leshko 55 in the middle. The Canaries come out. DeJesus, because of that good second quarter, gets the nod in the second half. He replaces Mason. The rest are the same with Adams, number 20, Wimberly, Thomas, and Penn wears number 50.
Janicola to put it in play for Whitehall.
And here's the trap. Good read by Lysicki. Excellent read by Pistol Pete Lysicki. Allen showing trap. They tried a double team, and boy, did he exploit it. Again, that was the good depth that they had, or good spread they had to the offense.
Thomas gets caught behind the glass. Kusko comes up with the turnover.
Canary's 6th turnover of the night. Whitehall has committed 7.
Lysicki, another nice feed. And Leshko decides to go back out to Kusko as the crowd looks for a traveling call.
Allen man-to-man.
Zoke. And he will shoot 2 with a foul on Adams.
Excellent job of breaking down the defense. Zoke goes to lay it straight in. It makes it a little bit more of a difficult shot. Oh, as you see, it was hit. DeJesus got a piece of that one in the continuation. Zoke just unable to finish it off, but he'll get a couple of free throws.
And a chance to tie the ball game.
This guy's a fine athlete, fine football player. Returned a couple of punts for touchdowns in his career for the Zephyrs. Also returned some interceptions. I know it was a tough football season for them, but he was, really a bright spot on what was a dismal season.
Zoke had 11 points the first time Whitehall played Allen. And now Allen makes a change. Adams comes off the court after his second foul, and he's replaced by Mason.
Our second tie of the game. The first one occurred at 13, and now we are knotted at 27. And the Zephyrs now have extended things. Lysicki out near midcourt, and they're going to a trapping defense.
DeJesus with the ball, the only non-starter now on the court for either team. And a foul is called away from the ball.
Well, we saw Whitehall use this half-court 1-3-1 trap to great success through their state run last year before bowing out in the semifinals of the East to eventual state champion Steelton High Spire. They got some good mileage out of that half-court trap.
Chad Kusko is hit with his first foul of the night. Whitehall's first of the second half. The referee noting some debris out on the court. Some inadvertent debris cleared away, and now here's Mason. Nice feed to Thomas. Can he get around the glass? He sure can. Allen back on top, 29-27.
Thomas very deceptive inside. Good quick move, nice step, and nice to the weak side, and there wasn't much help there, and an easy 2 for the big guy.
Lysicki out to Kusko. And the Zephyrs stack them high.
Yeah, Allen was able to force some turnovers against this offense in the first half. Whitehall did not stay in it too long.
Zoke. Nobody blatantly open after the double stack. Unusual. There's Zoke, though. Boy, I'll tell you, that's patience. You wait till somebody gets open. Lisicky will find him.
Well, that's their trademark. Lisicky, another fine assist here in the second half, his second one.
And we have an official timeout here as Nate Hobgood-Chittick gets ready to be inserted into the game. Sounds as though we may have a public announcement regarding debris being tossed out onto the floor.
That's Ron Pumpkin Miller. You tell him, Pumpkin. That's head football coach Rich Snizak to Pumpkin's left or your right.
And Hassan DeJesus will put the ball in play. We're tied at 29 here. 5:13 to play in the third quarter.
And Hobgood-Chittick replaces Sean Penn. We're knotted at 29, our third tie of the night.
Penn not in any foul trouble, just probably in need of a short breather. Shot by Wimberly's no good, gets his own rebound. Here's Mason thinking about it. DeJesus, back to Mason.
Again, Allen does a good job on the offensive boards. They're going to create another shot opportunity.
Mason with the double pump, it's no good, and Hassan DeJesus gets called. Trying to knock the ball out of Gianicola's hands. Pleads his case, and it'll get him nowhere.
That's going to get him a seat on the bench if he keeps it up. You're not going to get the call changed. You see Mason on the jumper. It's going to be a wide rebound. We're going to get a good look at it. Gianicola controls.
Ooh.
Well, you know, you reach in that far away.
Yeah.
That's why you're taught not to reach in. Because even when you come up with a good play, you could get called for a flag. I'm playing football. For a personal, and that's what happened there. It looked like a good defensive play by DeJesus, but it's tough to reach in and get away with it.
Cusco goes around everybody and can't hit it. And Leschko ended up on the floor, and looks like DeJesus just picked up another foul.
Well, here's an intense guy, Hobgood-Chittick. I think the personal's going to go against him. It is. It's his first.
He's got DeJesus as an agent pleading his case, apparently. The foul is on number 32, Nate Hobgood-Chittick, his first and the team's third. Whitehall gets it out of bounds. A chance to break this 29-all tie. Cusco, or rather Zoke to Cusco. Now Gianicola has it to Lisicky. The turnaround is in.
Yep,
4:10 to go here in period 3. 31-29 Whitehall.
Again, good patience for the Zepps. The tempo is slowed down to a crawl, and they get the better of the action.
Mason out to Wimberly. Inside the Hobgood-Chittick, a whistle blown long before the shot attempt. And apparently they got Hobby for...
No, this one's going to go against Leschko.
Right.
This one's against 6'6" senior. Well, let's watch. They're going to try and post Hobgood-Chittick. He's there. And they're getting a little tough now with the calls. You know, certainly Leschko's hand. Look at him looking. What did I do? You know, his hand was certainly on him, and there was a slight push. But, you know, and that's, again, as long as officials are consistent, and they seem they are doing that, so that's all that matters as far as both head coaches are concerned.
Leschko's first foul, Whitehall's second. Allen trailing by 2. Wimberly bounces it on the sideline, and Whitehall will take over.
Well, that's what I mentioned early, Dan. You know, this slowdown tends, you know, athletes like to run, and it's hard when you're not used to playing this slowdown game. You know, there's just another one that's just kicked away because of lack of concentration.
It's like putting the ball away and pulling out the checkers board or the chess table. Definitely tough to get used to for opponents of Whitehall High School.
Mason now the third guy to take his hand on Lisicky, who's really turning tonight. into his showcase. He has 2 more field goals. He was the high scorer with 15 in the first half and now has 19 with 2 more field goals here.
Allen fans looking for a traveling call. Do not get it. Here's Kusko. Lisicky. We talk about the style of play of Whitehall's. Well, they went up against Bethlehem Catholic, who tried this same style. Here's a nice feed to Lesko, and it's no good. Matt Zook setting up that play.
Well, that's all you can want out of your offense. I mean, that's the shot that you want. You got to convert that one.
Bethlehem Catholic using this slow down style against Parkland to very good effectiveness. Here's Adams looking for some help.
Good defensive help by Lisicky, dropping back from the top of the key.
Oh, my. And Thomas lucky not to hit the floor with something other than his sneakers first.
Well, some good sportsmanship by Zook, actually preventing him.
Let's take a look.
Thomas here going to take the move to the basket.
Whoa,
and Zook
nice
trying to
catch.
hang in there. Yeah, that's a good job by Zook. I think the foul went against Zook, number 2 on him. Both teams now with 3 team fouls second half.
Long 3 by Adams. No, this time he draws the near iron.
Again, Allen is able to run down the rebound.
De Jesus with the hustle. Forces it. A nice feed to Thomas. And Hobgood Chittick can pride himself on that assist.
You know why Hobgood Chittick's in this game? He's in there for some intensity. John Donmoyer knows his team is a little flat, maybe because of the slowdown or whatever. Hobgood Chittick, a fiery guy, a leader. He's in there for that. Nice assist by the big guy.
Kusko showing to De Jesus the elbows, and De Jesus getting a little too close. Sean Penn re-entering the contest for Allen after a quick breather, and De Jesus heads on over to the bench.
Well, John Donmoyer now going with a big lineup. He's got Hobgood, Chittick, Thomas, and Penn across the back. As you see, De Jesus a little over-aggressive. Picks up personal number 2.
31-31, final 2 minutes of period 3. Now underway. Here's Lisicky back out. Kusko to Zook. Back to Kusko. Lisicky, the 3. No. Some good defensive coverage there by Wimberly, and that's exactly what Coach Donmoyer sends him out there to do. Get the hands in the face of the opponent's top shooter, which is Lisicky.
That's right. And Mason on Lisicky, they had him posted, just were unable to get him the ball.
And Kusko takes one for the team.
Well, and that's exactly right. Ron Hassler's made a little slight adjustment to the defense. He has moved Lisicky out to the top, which does a couple of things. It lets him, with his height, harass shooters, but it puts this guy, number 35, down in the box and not afraid to take a shot like that, and that's why he's there. Good job defensively.
And that's Wayne Thomas's 3rd foul of the night. Allen now with 5 team fouls in the second half.
Well, if there's a spot Allen can get hurt with foul trouble, it's at the center spot. They'd have to play maybe Hobgood Chittick in there, who's, maybe more of a forward. But that's the only spot Allen can get hurt at, with foul trouble. Everywhere else, they have expendable people.
Zook. Whitehall spreading out the front court. Lisicky. Mason. Hobgood Chittick comes up with it. No traveling call there. Here's Wayne Thomas one-on-one with Jenicola. Out to Adams. 4 maroon jerseys in his face. Adam goes up for the shot and gets the call on Kusko. So he'll step to the line to shoot 2.
Whitehall does a good job after the turnover of getting back defensively. Adams trying to take the action in there. Has to be some kind of contact in there. And they call it on number 35. They get Kusko for the foul. Number 2. Mrs. Richardson. Scotty Richardson's mother, our engineer here, taking in the action.
Now just imagine how big these free throws are. 31-31, 50 seconds to go in the 3rd period, and the Whitehall fans want to make Adams know that they're out there.
Well, the Canaries again struggle from the line. Adams, however, is one of their best shooters of guys who shoot a lot. He's 70%er. He and Penn at 89.9% do a good job there, but the rest of them struggle, and Adams a guy who's normally pretty good from there.
John Donmoyer elects to take Thomas out of the game with 3 fouls, and he's replaced by the guard, Broski. Look out! That flash you saw was some lightning north of Allentown.
Well, they caught the defense napping. A set play. They go touchdown to Lisicky, who puts it in with an exclamation.
And now the Canaries' composure is being tested. Lisicky rips away a turnover. Splits the defense and heads up court.
Under 14 now, approaching 10 seconds remain. Third quarter, Zets by 1.
Broski. And he is fouled by Lisicky. And the crowd is just turned the other way. Look out.
Oh, yeah,
Canary fans.
That's a big play. You know, you and I have talked about George Broski. This guy comes in, makes things happen. What an excellent read. Lisicky just didn't come to meet the ball. Broski was able to get in there, and that's a big play because that's 3 on Lisicky.
And he joins the other All-State candidate with 3 fouls. Wayne Thomas currently on the bench for Allen. 4 seconds to go. Broski will have to take it himself. The long 3. No good. Whitehall bounces back on top here after 3 quarters. 33-32. Don't go away. You won't want to miss the final 8 minutes.
Backed by popular demand at the Allentown Rose Bowl, where the better people bowl, time bowling, and Rental Lane, the Rose Bowl's most popular program, and children's bumper bowling. Rose Bowl is the first in the Valley with an all-new system, plus birthday party packages. You bring the cake, we do the rest. You'll find it all at the Allentown Rose Bowl.
Allentown Rose Bowl. Allentown Rose Bowl. Where the better people bowl. Allentown Rose Bowl.
When Rosa Parks refused to move to the back of the bus, attorney Fred Gray got the call. He represented Mrs. Parks and many other activists. Today, Jim Crow laws are gone, but Fred Gray still goes to court to argue for the cause.
Laws on the books are not enough. They must be enforced fairly. That's today's battle.
We're talking tune here.
In order to master the fine art of talking tune, you must feel the sploin, be the boing, enjoy the bam inside of you, and splat, there you have it.
Flame, slam,
Smack. No, you want the best cartoons, the coolest characters, 24 hours a day.
Boing, boing.
Bam, splat.
Boing, boing.
Bam,
Splat.
Now you're talking tune on the world's first Cartoon Network.
We're talking tune here.
See all you want to see. Turn on Service Electric Cable TV. We were the first to lead the way. The pioneering spirit is still with us today. Channel after channel, we bring you more of what you want to see is on Service Electric Cable TV.
Not every cable company can give you pictures like this. Take a look at this.
Pistol Pete Lisicky on what must have been a set play, broke long in the two-handed jam. Brought the Whitehall following to their feet. But more importantly, after that, Pistol Pete picked up foul number 3. He and Thomas both with 3 fouls. The Zets up 1. 8 minutes remain.
Mike Hodrick bringing you that picture, joined by Joe Wallenkovitz and Gary Snyder on camera.
Difference between this game and the first meeting. Whitehall had 31 points the first time. They have 33 here, which is good enough for a lead. Last time it put them down by a bunch, as Allen had 53 after 3 quarters. Third quarter stats. Allen 3 of 7, including a 3 for 43.5%. 1 of 2 from the line for 8 points. The Zepps with 12 on 5 of 8 shooting. No threes. 63.5%. 2 free throws for their 12 points.
Wayne Thomas back out on the court. Lisicky has never left. Both All-State candidates with 3 fouls apiece. Here's Broski.
What a big play he made at the end of that third quarter.
And Mason drives to the hoop, is fouled before the shot. Each and every possession will be a golden one from here on in.
See Giannicola just sticking that knee out a little bit, and he gets called for it. 16 foul now against Whitehall. The next one will put Allen to the free throw line.
And Mason, the flying one-hander, it goes.
Powerful athlete, Chris Mason. You saw the ability to wheel into the paint and then just the explosion into that jump.
We saw somewhat of a boxing match here in the first quarter, and it looks like this is the style of play we'll be enjoying here to start the fourth quarter. Lisicky looking for a knockout punch. No go.
Shot he will normally hit. Zoke setting the screen. Was able to tie up Mason inside.
Broski working against Giannicola, and Giannicola, look at him step in to provide the pressure. Mason back to Broski. George Broski, one of his greatest attributes is driving into the paint and loosening up somebody. And there's a great shot for 2 by Mason.
Just inside the three-point arc. Mason was not available for the first meeting. He certainly had an impact here tonight.
Lisicky, short after leaving Mason on the floor. Here comes Thomas. The leaner is good. And he takes Cusco down with him.
Somebody got a piece of Lisicky's shot. A Zephyr turnover, only the second time, however, it has led to Allen points.
Look at Lisicky just pour it on that one quick step. Lisicky pleading his case that he was in the act of shooting.
Yeah, that's what he wants to go to the free throw line. I don't think he's going to get the call. I think they called it before. See here is able to get past Mason and then tied up by Sean Penn.
Foul is called on Penn. It's his second. Both teams now with 6 fouls.
Andy Himmelreich directing tonight.
And I understand that he is the greatest. Zoke with the turnaround, looking outside of Giannicola. Here comes Lisicky. Oh my!
Lisicky looking for a foul. Got a tough roll as it rolls in and out. A critical defensive series.
Penn gets 3. And this stadium, it sounds like the stadium is erupting. Timeout Whitehall as Allen jumps out in period 4 to a 41-33 lead.
Well, and you see the lineup they're doing it with. Broski's in there, Hobgood-Chittick's in there. Penn is able to convert on a 3, and that is the biggest Allen lead of the night as they are up 8, 41-33.
Hope you're enjoying this game on a Saturday night, and be sure to tell any of your friends that may be missing it for whatever reason that we will be airing it again Monday night at 9:30 right here on the Super 2. Looking ahead to next week, Mike, we'll be seeing the Canaries in action again just before tournament time. Tuesday, they'll be at Rockney Hall to take on Central Catholic. And then Friday night, or Thursday night, I guess, we may be doing Freedom Easton. Yet to be determined, the East Penn Conference wild card game, although, as I mentioned, it doesn't look as though that final day of action will have much bearing on the standings come Thursday.
You would not think so. For those of you who just are tuning in, I mentioned in that first half, Liberty has clinched a spot in the East Penn Conference tournament. They played Bethlehem Catholic this afternoon and beat them. So 5 teams have qualified. They are naturally Whitehall and Allen here, Central Parkland, and now Liberty. And Freedom with a win tonight. They play Emmaus, would lock up the 6th spot.
We'll just let you enjoy the sounds of being at Seward's Gym. Boy, do these folks get revved up after each and every timeout. Bob Kuhn, one of our golf, I was going to say golfing buddies, one of our golfing broadcasters here on Super 2. Bob here with his wife enjoying all the action. Big Whitehall fans, I believe. And Lisicky gets dumped.
Yeah, I don't know whether he was out there for 3 or not. He could maybe be getting three shots here.
Mason providing the stick. Well, either way, it'll send Lisicky to the line. Allen now with 17 fouls. That is the first on Chris Mason. And he will be taking 3 free throws. Even though Whitehall is a low-scoring team when it comes to head-to-head competition, Lisicky the top scorer in the East Penn Conference, and this may be one of the reasons, Mike. A lot of guys up near him can't shoot the free throws like he can.
No, he's one of the best in the league from there. Pistol Pete has another year left, and that spells bad news for the rest of the East Penn Conference teams. Already over 1,000 points in his career.
2 of 2 and counting.
That's a big possession for Whitehall. Big possession for them as they were down 8. Lisicky now with an opportunity to pull it to within 5.
And he misses the last of 3 foul shots. 41-35, still Allen in control.
Now it's going to have to happen with some defense. Plenty of time, just under 5 minutes remain. Zoke going to be called for the reach-in, trying to deny Thomas in front.
What a run that we saw to start off this 4th quarter by Allen. A wise decision by Hassler to call a timeout. 8-1 was the scoring run. Canaries putting together a 10-point run in the 1st quarter. And Thomas can't connect, but Penn can.
Yeah, you see the guy who kept it alive was number 32, Nate Hopgood-Chittick. You know, the guy might not score double figures, but he brings you intensity, he brings you desire. He knows he had a big part in that play. He's the guy kept it alive for Penn.
And Lisicky continues to bear the burden of keeping Whitehall in this game.
Yeah, you have to believe that somewhere, though, somebody else for Whitehall is going to have to score some points. Pete's having a heck of a night.
Hopgood-Chittick against Lesko. No, and it may go back to Allen. No, Whitehall takes over.
Chittick unable to control that one.
43-37. 4:14 to play. Whitehall is behind, and here comes Lisicky to try to do some catching up. Inside, nice dish. Lesko gets swatted away by Penn. And we had yet to see a game where Penn was denied at least 1 block.
Oh, yeah, he's the human eraser inside the shot blocker.
Broski to Penn.
Yeah, he's a deceiving 6'5". Yeah, he's got exceptionally long arms and legs and has good leaping ability.
Very good defensively, too, as he shoots for 2. And up and good by Mason on the tip. Chris Mason controlling the paint.
Second shots have just been the big advantage for the Canaries here tonight. Again, they score on a second shot opportunity. Great athleticism by Mason.
8 points to make up. Lisicky eyeing up a 3. Good pressure by Penn.
Yeah, Penn tried to time that one. Gave Lisicky a little bit of time to eye it up, but I'm not so sure he didn't maybe get a piece of that one. 3:10 remaining.
Thomas against Lesko. The line drive is no good. It goes high on the backboard. Still in play. And a foul on Penn. Originally, I thought it was a tie-up, but they'll call Penn for reaching in.
Well, both teams in the bonus, so they will all be 1-and-1s. They will all be shot.
Back into the action now for the Canaries. Adams.
Watch what happens here. The ball's going to carry them up to the top. And they're going to stop playing. You see, I think they think that the whistle's going to blow and it's a dead ball. Cusco able to control and draw the foul on Penn.
Bill James coming into the game for the Zephyrs for the first time this evening, wearing number 45 in maroon. Jenicola gets a break, as does Hopgood-Chittick.
Yeah, that's Whitehall's first sub of the night, I believe.
You're right.
Substitution.
Cusco is good for the first. 7-point ball game. 3:05 showing on the clock. Adams gets tied up after pulling down the rebound. The Canaries still ahead by 7.
Good tough rebound by Adams. Good job of protecting the ball.
Broski. Timeout, Allen. Good decision here, too, by Coach Don Moyer, even with that lead, wanting to make sure all the loose ends are tied up before he heads into the final 3 minutes of play. 2:53 actually now on the clock to go here in the fourth quarter.
Only 2 games remain after the night in regular season play. The Canaries will be at Central Catholic next Tuesday and then at Northampton next Thursday. Whitehall will be home with Emmaus and then home again with Phillipsburg. And then Monday, February 22 will be round 1. Don't look for either one of these teams. They will be getting a bye. Round 1 will pit the team that finishes 3rd against the team that is seeded 6th. And then the team that is seeded 4th against the team that is seeded 5th. So then they'll eliminate in the highest surviving seed, and they'll straighten all of that out. And Allen and Whitehall will get into the action on Wednesday, February 24th.
Mike, you might say this is the most meaningful, meaningless game anybody's ever seen.
You're right. I mean, that's a
packed house here at Seward's Gym.
That's a good way to put it. I mean, but there's pride on the line. There's, desire. You work hard, and I talked with both coaches. Don't tell me the game's not important to those two guys.
Well, there is the weight of district seeding, of course. Both teams in the 4A bracket want a big win here just to increase the value of their stock heading into the postseason big tournament. Broski to put it in play. Allen going with Broski. Adams. That's Mason giving it back to Broski. Also on the floor, Penn and Thomas.
Allen now spreads the floor. Makes it difficult to trap, which is what Whitehall is trying to do.
Pete Romali checking in for Whitehall, wearing number 21.
And I'm sure Ron Hassler wants some fresh bodies in there. He knows he's going to be doing some chasing. Canaries doing a wonderful job.
And this is why Coach Don Moyer called the timeout.
Well, there's a little too much dribbling here.
Look at
Dribbling will
Broski.
get you in trouble.
Thomas, back out they go. Adams finds the free man. Look out, here's Mason. And Lesko forced a foul to prevent the easy deuce.
Now, I'm not so sure that, that was the right play, because of the free throw shooting. Now, if Mason converts, fine. But patience is working. The time is on your side. Now, Mason needs to convert these free throws to make that a good play. He's perfect on the night so far. He's 1 for 1.
Romali heads off the floor, making way for Jeff Leibensberger, wearing number 43 in the room. 6'5", junior forward.
See, if I was John Don Moore, I would have looked for more ball movement on the perimeter there. The free throw line's not good to them. They only shoot about 56% from the line. Without scoring, Mason could maybe get one here, but that plays into Whitehall's hands. And he does.
How about it? 46-38, coming down to the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Lisicki around Zote, screen, the long three, and it's good!
Guy has amazing range, man. Allen fought through the pick, and Lisicki just took a step further back. Keeps him in the game. They're down 5.
46-41. Killing some time is what these Canaries are doing right now. Pan out to Adams. Adams gets mugged. No call yet. Bounces it off the top of the head of Bill James, and James is called for the foul.
Now Adams a better free throw shooter. That's what Allen wants to do here is keep the ball, in Adams' hand and Penn's hand. They're your 2 free throw shooters. Let them get fouled. Let them go to the free throw line. There's Keith Groller from the Morning Call covering tonight's action in the blue sweatshirt.
Out of bed early and talking sports this morning on WAEB AM 790. That great high school hoop show at 8 o'clock Saturday mornings. Be sure to listen for it next week.
Adams 2 for 3 on the night. And a miss.
Oh, my. Quickly down court they go. Here's James, and he gets it swiped away, but Whitehall will maintain possession.
Good hustle back by Thomas. This is one of the things we've seen throughout the years. If you can't seal victories from that free throw line, Whitehall with an awfully important possession here. I wonder who they'll go to.
Lisicky to put it in play. Zoke tracks it down. The long shot by James. No good. And here's Kusko. Free.
Boy, what an important play. What an important play.
I was going to say free pickings, but it wasn't quite that easy. Broski gets fouled by Lisicky. Number 4 for Pistol Pete.
Broski, a 55% free throw shooter on the year, has not attempted a lot of them. It's just a little better than half of them.
Well, with 1:11 on the clock, Lisicky felt it was time to gamble. And Broski comes through and breathes a big sigh of relief.
Yeah, that form didn't look like a 55%er there. That was good rotation.
Chad Kusko gets a breather. On back out is Pete Romali for Whitehall. Broski making Allen's lead 6 points, and he's going to try to make it 7. And he does.
Yeah, I had to believe that Broski's a better free throw shooter. He hasn't attempted a lot on the year. A couple of big ones there.
Looking for the 3 is Whitehall. The shot inside the arc is no good. Lesko not ready for it to just drop down without hitting anything. And Allen will take over.
Yeah, Whitehall just struggling offensively. If it's not Lisicky, you know, nobody else is able to chip in. Other people got to start kicking some shots in for them. They can't just rely on Lisicky, who's having a whale of a night.
Kusko's in. James is out for Whitehall. 2-on-1. Penn will pull it back out.
Smart play.
And he's immediately fouled by Zoke. Zoke wasn't quite prepared to foul Penn. You see he's complaining. Didn't want to send that young man to the line.
And that's number 4 at least on Zoke. Yeah, number 4, which is not important right now. 50.4 seconds remain. The Canaries by 7 with their best free throw shooter at the line. 89.9% on the year.
My.
I think he's only got 5 misses all year long and about 40 attempts.
And as much time as the young Sean Penn has spent at the free throw line and on the basketball court, he's probably spent twice that in the library. I think every single time I've been to the Allentown Library, I've run into him.
Oh, that's always good to hear. 5 threes he hit for in the first meeting.
Penn is golden at the line. Allen up by 9. 45 seconds to play. The three-pointer is good. Timeout, Whitehall.
Well, that brings them to within 6. 43.2 remain. Zoke on the three-pointer. Now, I should take that back. Zoke does chip in, you know, with his 10, 11, 12 points, but other guys have to start picking up the slack. They have to get some more production from other people. They didn't take advantage of some opportunities that they had here tonight, and at this point here, it is starting to, you know, hurt them. Super 2 Sports Information Line, dial 821-4929.
A good tune-up for both teams as they head into the final week of the East Penn Conference season, and of course, everybody looking forward to the final 6-team tournament. And then from there, District 11s. And Mike, it looks like we'll have at least a few going past that into regional play and perhaps making a bid for a state championship game this year.
Oh, you look at, you have Salisbury ranked number 1 or 2. I heard they might have slipped a spot, you know, in 2A. You have these 2 teams here ranked in the top 10 in 4A. You know, don't forget you pick up the Central Catholic girls, who always do something for you along the way. We're gonna have a good spring this year. I think somebody's taking us all the way.
Here's Broski now. 43.2 seconds remaining. 50-44 Allen. Adams. Look at this dribbling. He gets tied up. It's going to be a jump ball. And Whitehall takes possession.
Well, the Zepps do not have to foul. They don't have to risk a foul. Now this will be a big possession.
Back into the game for Ron Hassler Zephyrs is James, and he replaces Kusko. Apparently James a three-point threat. He's already tried one.
It's got to be Zoke or Lisicky. Zoke with 11.
And now Allen wants timeout, and Don Moore is going to use the opportunity to talk to the referees. And boy, is he hot.
Yeah, I think he was looking for a foul down there, and he didn't get it. Bill Snyder, his assistant, also doing a little jawing.
39.6 seconds to go. 50-44, Allen in control. And if you're just joining us, it's been a wild one. Whitehall jumping out at the start of this game to an 11-3 lead. Allen responding by scoring the next 10 points, finishing the first half with a 21-10 run. It was 24-21 Allen at that time. And since then, it's been back and forth, left and right, just like a boxing match. Right now, Allen in the lead by 6.
Yeah, Lisicky, the game's top scorer now with 27 points on the night. Zoke for Whitehall backing him up with 11, but they need a big 3 here. Each team with, well, Whitehall called timeout, you said here, right? So they have 1 left. Allen used the timeout. They have 1, and Whitehall has 2 remaining. So look for them to call a timeout if they score.
Allen getting the best of this fourth quarter action, starting it off with an 8-1 run, and they've maintained a pretty strong lead since then. Here's Zoke, long 3, and it's good!
And Whitehall does not use a timeout. They're within 3.
Broski goes deep.
Let's go.
Here's Zoke. Broski commits. Open underneath. Shot no good by Romali. It's loose. Here's James. He's blocked. Romali comes up with it. Lisicky out at the three-point line. Broski takes it away. And Broski gets floored. I mean, trounced by Lisicky.
Or that could be it for Pete. If that foul is on him, it's all over. Whitehall had their opportunities. The Zepps had their chances. Allen comes out with the ball. Another big play by George Broski.
Broski showing, he may be showing blood to one of the referees, and I would not be surprised.
No, I'll tell you, he's a tough guy. Comes in and makes a big, big play there.
He's actually looking for the intentional foul.
Personal foul was called against
Matt Zoke, and that is his 5th.
Yeah, that's 5 for him. I knew there had to be 5 on somebody because Lisicky's got 4 and Zoke had 4. Now that's 5.
Now Broski had gotten rid of the ball. The attention was drawn away from him. Lisicky sent him into the cheerleaders way beyond the sideline, but the foul was committed after Broski had let go of the ball somewhere towards the middle of the court.
Well, and Ron Hassler wants a timeout. He wants to try and ice Broski. Zoke leaves the game with 14 points, 4 of 7 on the night, 3 3-pointers, 3 of 4 from the line for his 14. But when you go past Lisicky and Zoke, you know, again, there was a situation. Whitehall got 3 excellent shots at the basket and came away empty. So it just seems if it's not Zoke and it's not Lisicky, you know, they just can't get it into the basket.
The tail of the tape, Whitehall coming back strong from the three-point line, and you knew it was going to have to end like this. When these two champions get together and go head-to-head, expect this kind of a basketball game. 50-47. Allen by 3, 8.4 seconds showing on the clock.
You look at the scoring for Whitehall. Cusco has 1 point. Leshko is chipped in with 2 field goals, so that's 5. That means Lisicky and Zoke have the rest of the 47 points. Lisicky and Zoke have scored 42 of the Whitehall 47 points.
That is amazing.
That's not good. No. That's not good because defensively, you know that, and you got to look at that. You know, other guys got to start scoring.
Lisicky with 15 at the half, so you can just see what he has done here in the second half.
And Whitehall has 1 timeout remaining, and they are going to use it. They're going to give Broski a long, long time to think about it, and he's going to skip a little rope on the way over to the sideline.
I think basically what he's doing is working the kinks out after getting floored by Lisicky.
Well, hey, there's no sense taking that timeout home with you on the bus. It's not going to do you any good in Whitehall. With 8.4 seconds remaining, you know, it's going to be a 1-on-1. If he misses the first, Whitehall has to have something planned to set up and try and get a 3, you know, and now with Zoke gone, the guy's almost going to have to be Lisicky. If you're Allen, you got to be aware of that, and you got to say, hey, follow Lisicky no matter where he is. If somebody ties this thing up on a desperation, let it be somebody else.
Next up for the Whitehall Zephyrs, they'll finish out the conference season by hosting Emmaus and then Phillipsburg. So a nice, easy route perhaps into the East Penn Conference Championship Finals. The road is not so easy for the Canaries. They'll be at Rockne Hall on Tuesday night, and we'll be there with them right here on the Super 2. And then they'll wrap it up on Thursday at Northampton.
If Allen does indeed hold on to win here, they would not lock up the #1 seed. They would draw into a tie with Whitehall. Both would be 16-2. If Allen would win their remaining 2 games because of the tiebreaker and beating Whitehall twice, they would then be the #1 seed in the tournament.
Broski at the line.
Short.
Oh, and it's short. Thomas almost got the rebound. And now pushing it up is Romali. He's going to shoot. He's stripped by Adams cleanly. And Adams is just going to ride it out. The Canaries have beaten the Zephyrs 50-47. Just take a look at what's going on down there. No trophies. No banners.
Pride.
No rings. This game meant the world to those young men.
It's pride. The athletic spirit.
We'll take a look at Bill Bickle's numbers and be back with a talk with head coach John Donmoyer right after this.
Oi, Dunavetter, look what the wind blew in.
What are you doing here at APE Car Care Center?
Why, my brakes and muffler, they're so full.
Well, you come to the right place. They do good work here at APE Car Care. They're experts on brakes and mufflers.
When my machine don't run right, it makes me so gretzy. If it isn't one thing, it's another.
You dumb bunny. Why don't you sell that piece of junk and buy a new one?
Oh, now you're an expert on cars.
No, I'm an expert on junk.
Car Care Plus at ABE Car Care Centers.
Cable's coolest combo in February isn't Wayne and Garth.
Denied.
It's HBO and Cinemax. Compare their entertainment and ours. Their specials, ours. Their babes, and ours. So the best cable combo on TV is HBO and Cinemax.
No way. Wait.
Featuring Wayne's World in February.
Cool.
Call your cable company and order HBO and Cinemax now.
C.J. Wagner, trophies, plaques, and bowling supply.
See all you want to see. Turn on Service Electric Cable TV. We were the first to lead the way. The pioneering spirit is still with us today. Channel after channel, we bring you more of what you want to see. Is on Service Electric Cable TV.
Welcome back to the Canaries Cage, also known as Seward's Gymnasium. I'm here standing with winning head coach John Donmoyer of the Allen Canaries. And Coach, couple of questions, both of them about timeouts that took place during this ball game. The Whitehall Zephyrs came out and blasted you to start things off with an 11-3 run. You called timeout, and things seemed to turn around as Allen scored the next 10. What happened during that brief break?
Well, with the 11-3 run, I mean, Lisicky hitting those shots and everything, they spurted out right away, and the crowd was in on it, and momentum was their way, definitely. And we called a timeout for 2 reasons. We wanted to settle our guys down a little bit and try to stop the momentum a little bit by taking the timeout, and also readjust our offense. The way they were playing their matchup, we changed it around a little bit, trying to do something a little different than what we had started out with, and it seemed to open things up a little bit for us, and we were able to creep back in it.
How about the whole tenacity of this game? You figure these two teams are pretty well etched in stone. You're going to be the top two teams in the East Penn Conference. You're going to be high in the district rankings, although this did count a little bit towards that. But a full house here tonight just to watch you guys do battle.
It is. It's a shame that there's not a league winner and a playoff winner, because this was championship fever all the way. And then, of course, whoever comes out of the tournament is the league champion. But it was great atmosphere for both teams to be able to play in a condition like this, because I'm sure it'll prepare both of us for the tournament.
Getting back to tonight's game, some balanced scoring on the part of your Allen Canaries. Wayne Thomas, of course, coming through, and Sean Penn also sharing some high-scoring honors. But in the first half, Adams came through as well. He had the same number of points as Thomas.
I didn't realize the number of points, but Dwayne does a nice job for us. In fact, he was the one that stripped the fellow of the basketball there at the end of the game before he got off a three-point shot. And we were able to rotate our guys around, and a lot of different people helped us out again tonight. Again, we got a spark from several different people. But Sean Penn comes through, Dwayne Thomas comes through, and Adams comes through with the scoring. Those other guys, though, Hassan penetrated a couple times, got some points. Same with Wimberly, same with Mace, and George Broski does a great job when he's in there. So I can't complain about any of those guys.
Late in the game, that second timeout I was talking about took place with about 2.5 minutes to go. You had a pretty decent lead of about 6, 7, or 8 points, and even though you had the ball and were moving towards the basket, you decided to hold on and take a break. What went on during that timeout?
Well, during that timeout, we said nothing but a layup. We didn't want anything else but a layup. Keep moving the ball and, run some time off the clock. And with a three-point shot and shooters like Lisicky and the rest of those guys that they have shooting those threes, 45 seconds is a long time.
Well, now you've beaten Whitehall at the Zephyrs Palace. You've beaten them here at Seward's Gym. Are the guys looking forward to number 3?
We're always looking forward to the next one, no matter who it is. We say bring them on. We'll take them on, and I'm sure Whitehall says the same thing.
All right, Coach John Donmoyer, the head coach here at Allen, and quite a successful night for him. Let's go to Mike Zambelli and talk about statistics. Great job, John.
I don't have a...
Thanks, Dan, and thank you, Coach John Donmoyer, and congratulations. And I think the thing you got to talk about right away is balanced scoring. Whitehall with 4 scorers, Allen with 4 scorers in double figures. They were led by both Sean Penn and Wayne Thomas with 12 apiece. Penn was 4 of 6 from the floor, including 2 threes, 2 of 2 for the line for a total of 12. Thomas's 12 came on 6 of 11 from the floor, missed a free throw, and those two were high with 12. They were backed up then by 2 10-point scorers. Dwayne Adams on 3 of 8 from the floor, including 2 threes, 2 of 4 from the line. Mason's 10 came on 4 of 8 shooting, 2 of 3 from the line for his total of 10. Wimberly was scoreless, only attempted 2 shots, but the defense was there. The rest of the scoring for Allen, Hassan DeJesus, one of the people that Coach Donmoyer referred to, 2 of 2 from the floor again, and I think we should stick around more for him. I think he was perfect 5 for 5 last time we were here for his 4 points. George Broski, another stellar performance for him. Just 2 points, both of them at the free throw line, but 2 critical free throws. He only attempted 1 shot, but came up with a couple of big steals. He got Lisicky committing his 4th personal foul, so Broski continues to come off the bench and add a spark. Nate Hobgood-Chittick did not score, but again, his intensity, his desire seemed to wake up the Canaries. So again, it was a big team effort for Allen High School. The line score for the Canaries, they were 19 of 40 from the floor, including 4 3-pointers for 47.5%, a far cry from the 64% they shot in the first meeting, but still good enough for 50 points in a win. They were 8 of 13 from the line for 61.5%. Contrary, the Zephyrs, 2 scorers. The game's top scorer and the Zephyrs' top scorer, Pistol Pete Lisicky, another fine outing for him. 10 of 18 from the floor, including 4 3-pointers. Just 1 miss from the line, 4 of 5 for his total of 28 points, and that is a game high for Pistol Pete. He was backed up by Matt Zoke, 4 of 7 from the floor. 4 of Matt's field goals were 3-pointers. He was 3 of 4 for the line for 14 points. But after that, the points come awful thin. Cusco, only attempted one shot, missed it. He was 1 of 2 from the line for just 1 point. Leshko attempted only 5 shots, converted on 2 for his total of 4. Janicola did not attempt a shot, was scoreless. Rameli played, attempted 1, was scoreless. Bill James did come in and play briefly in that fourth quarter, attempted 3 shots but did not score. So you have only 4 people scoring for Whitehall, and 2 of them combined for only 5 points. And I think that is a big story. I think Coach Hassler will look at this and try and get more people involved offensively. I know these people, can score, and I think they have to start looking. And we will see what kind of adjustments Coach Hassler makes coming with the tournament. Certainly losing 2 to Allen in regular season is not going to sit well with them. They were 16 of 35 from the field, including 7 3-pointers. They were for 45.7%. They were 8 of 11 from the free throw line for just under 73% for their total of 47 points. Canaries outlast them 50-47, survive a scare a little bit at the end, and it's a double for the Canaries as the Little Canaries won't beat Whitehall 47-41 in the preliminary game. The loss for Whitehall drops them to 19-2 overall and 16-2 in league play. For the Canaries, they raise their record to 20-2, and in league play crawl into a tie with Whitehall at 16-2. But Dan, because of the tiebreaker, actually have the edge.
The Harrisburg Patriot News this week to see what change in the standings this game had an influence on, if any. Again, Whitehall coming in as number 8 according to the Harrisburg Patriot News in 4A, and Allen coming in as number 5. So we'll see what happens next week. Well, for Mike Zambelli, Bill Bickle, this is Dan Mowdy. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday night. Same night coverage of the Allen-Whitehall game, and it was Allen 50, Whitehall 47. Be sure to tell your friends. We'll be re-televising this Monday night at 9:30 right here on the Super 2. Good night, everyone.